Review It TV, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys coming back to watch our next video. We kind of snuck this video in. We're going to do a different video with some lighting that we were doing on this machine. But we got another accessory in before everything else I need for the next video, so we're going to sneak this one in instead. I'm sure this will interest some of you guys if you plan on getting a cooler or a storage box for the back of your unit that will sit in this back area right here. We're going to go ahead and unbox this one and see what this one looks like. This is the black Can-Am cooler, not the storage box. So this one I believe is an 8-gallon. So it's not going to have quite as much room as the storage box goes that you can also get as an alternative. But it also won't sit up so high, which will kill your whole back view here for your rear view mirror. And I plan on putting some other accessories in this area too. So I want to make sure that I strategically plan each and every accessory that's going to actually come together and work. So I'm not blocking one or preventing another one from being installed later. So with that being said, let's go ahead and open this up. We'll take a look at it, see which, hopefully they got the correct one. And they haven't sent us the storage box, because the storage box is probably $50 cheaper than the actual cooler. So I wanted it because I plan on putting food and different things in this. Alright, there we go. So let's check it out. Pretty nice. I thought it was bigger for some reason. I'm sure if you guys haven't gotten one of these yet, you plan on getting one of these. At least you'll know what it looks like inside. So this is it. You can see the Can-Am logo on the top there. It's got, looks like a drain plug on the front right here, so you can drain all the ice water or whatever you're putting in it. It's got some nice heavy-duty rubber straps. You just slightly pull down on those a little bit and they come out. Let's see if this is gonna hold, or if this is gonna be one of those boxes that just slams shut once you get it up. Oh no, it can hold. Look at that. Nice. So it does hold. So inside contents, it looks like some type of directions, instructions, and warning labels. That's cool. Can-Am sticker. Probably put that like right on the front there or something. Give it a little bit of color. Looks like a tray comes in this, and that's probably the hardware box. So you got a separate tray to keep things from getting wet if you're putting cooler items in there, but you can see, you can put all of your dry items too, not necessarily just beverages and ice. And then you can put maybe even your dry items up top and then put some of your, you know, your cooler items like your juices and cans and ice and whatnot on the bottom. So you know what we'll do is we'll get prepared to install this bad boy. After that, we'll give you guys some views of examples of things that you can put inside of this, and then we'll close out. So let's check it out. Okay guys, so you're looking at the contents of the hardware box. It's gonna come with 2 of these hooks, and these hooks will sit on the back of the toolbox right here. And that's what's gonna lock this cooler into place when you go to stick it on the holes that are on the back of the area where this mounts. So you have 2 of those. Then you have 2 of these little brackets with holes that are actually gonna mount to these. These are the actual latches that will hold the cooler down, and all these are gonna do is hang out on this area once I get them put together. So you gotta bolt these together with the screws. It has 2 of these little tiny threaded screws that take a small tiny Allen wrench to screw them in, and that's where they go, is in the front of this latch. Basically you can lock your latch down and screw that in. That's kind of an extra safety feature to keep this from undoing if you're hitting bumps and hitting whoops or whatever and causing the whole machine to bounce up and down. Then that'll ensure that they don't come unlatched and your cooler flies off. So those are gonna go to that. Here's the hardware, guys. It comes with a bunch of screws with Loctite. It comes with 4 nuts and 4 longer screws without Loctite. The 4 longer screws and the nuts are gonna mount these 2 brackets together, or the bracket and the latch together. And then of course these 4 screws with Loctite are gonna actually put the latches and the hooks down onto the toolbox, and that's what will keep them from coming undone, you know, during vibrations or bumps and stuff. So let's go ahead and try to put one of these together. I'll show you guys. So basically this latch, if I'm doing this right, It's gonna sit like this on here, and actually I'm not doing it right, it goes upside down. So you'll put these two together, and then once you put these two screws in to hold the latch and the bracket together, then you'll take the bracket and use some of these screws with the Loctite to bolt it onto the toolbox. So let's see how easy this isn't gonna be for me. So we'll just take a screw and do it at a time, one at a time, and at least get it started. Take one of the long ones without the Loctite, put it through, and then just hold it. I would at least get one of the nuts started on it. You don't have to tighten the whole thing down at once, but at least you can get it started like that. And I don't know if these nuts have lock, like an all, no, these look like they're just threaded, so I don't think they lock down. So then we'll get another screw. And if you need to, you can move the latch out of the way to get the next screw in. And like I said, just get another nut, start it. And you can get just like a little hand socket or something, and I'll show you guys one here in a second to just finish tightening it up. Okay, so in order to finish getting these screwed together with the 5/16 nut and the star wrench, I just went ahead and got one of these little attachments and put a 5/16 bit on there. There's no real easy way to do this, guys, on this part either. It's just, you want to just try to get the best grip you can, putting your wrench down into the nut right there. Then you're just going to come on the reverse side with this, and it's a little bit tough, so I would just ease it up like that, not all the way until you get this side started too. And then you just put that in there as well. I don't know how easy this one's going to go either, but and actually sometimes it slips out, so if it does, stick it back in there. And then basically just make sure it's tight on either side, and then you're good to go. And that's how you put the brackets together. Get them torqued a little bit, guys, on this. I would recommend it. And if you're sketchy about this coming apart, I would even get some liquid Loctite, you know, the blue, and put some on the threads of this too, just to make sure this isn't going to eventually come apart. But as you can see, we have it together, and that's how it works. So it'll basically just mount right up there like this with the other screws. And then once you set this down, you'll lock it in place like that. Okay, guys. Both the latches are put together with the brackets now, so those are ready to go. These two little tiny Allen wrench screws that need to go in the top right here. They're real small, guys, so be careful you don't lose them. That Allen wrench is real tiny too, but don't screw them in all the way. They're just gonna go in these little holes right here. So, and they have some Loctite on them too, so they'll rest in there nicely. Just get it started, and don't force thread it, guys, because if you cross thread it, you're gonna have some problems here. And even me trying to just gently screw this in, it feels like it wants to kind of cross thread. There we go. You just gently get it started. I wouldn't put it past the blue too much, maybe just quarter of the way through that blue, just like that. And if it starts to lock your switch too tight, then just loosen it back a little bit, like so. Yeah, you don't want it to break or crack the plastic switch too, so you want to make sure that you don't tighten it too much until you're ready to lock it down. But yeah, so get both of those started on either one of the latches. That way it's ready to go. If you plan on leaving this on your machine all the time, then it's going to work out great for just screwing these down after you lock them in place. These little bolts, or screws I should say, Allen screws. Alright, so that's in pretty good. This one will probably go down a little bit further actually too. I don't want it to be up that high, but you don't have to go down too far for it to still engage right. So that's those. So that's basically the preparation that you guys will take in order to get ready to just mount it onto the bottom of here. It's pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go ahead and show you guys anyways. Okay guys, so we're gonna take these little screws that came with these brackets and we're just gonna start them with our fingers a little bit on each one. I would recommend just doing it that way, you know, you get the threads in correctly. You can just leave them kind of hanging loose. Then what we can do is we'll come back in with a T30 bit on the drill and go ahead and screw them in so we don't have to do this by hand all the way around. Same thing on this. Make sure that, so this is the front of your cooler, that this Can-Am latch faces the back of the cooler, so that way you know which side, what bracket goes on. Same with this one. Just gonna put it in, get it hand started a little bit. And there's already brass holes that the screws go into in the box. Same with these. Just grab a couple. Just go ahead and put 2 of those in, your hooks. Get them started. And when we drill them in, we'll go slow and easy. We don't want to torque them. So that's all the hardware. Everything is actually installed in the box. We're gonna go put it on the machine and we'll show you guys in a second how it installs. Okay guys, make sure that these hooks are facing the back. This isn't always gonna pop in as easy as it looks. I've noticed that you've got to get used to this and kind of how it fits in there. You gotta kind of push it down in place just like so. Once it locks, if you come look at this, right here you can see how the latch is open. And we're just gonna push the latch like that. Same on the opposite side. And then, there it is guys. Locked in place. And as you can see, I'll show you guys a lower level look at it. That way you guys can see what it looks like kind of flush with the roof. So you can see the kind of the aligning gap that you'll have between here and here. It's a good probably 1.5 feet. So if you're planning on putting other accessories like I'm going to be, from here to there I'm going to be putting a tire mount rack that's going to go up, and then from that point I'm going to put some chase lights either on the tire mount bracket or off of here. I haven't decided yet. I know I've mentioned that in my other videos that we're going to be doing the chase lights. We are, as you can see, this particular 8-gallon box sits really nice. It locks into place. You can tighten up those little Allen wrench screws to keep them locked down from the latches opening. That's the last step. But we'll show you guys what it looks like with some stuff in it. So as you guys can see, there's a variety of different things you can use this cooler for. Here's an example. You guys can take some MREs, some packaged cakes. You might want to take some freeze-dried food because you're going on a couple nights trip. You can store your water. You can take this shelf out. If you haven't seen these containers, I showed them in one of our previous MRE videos, so check that out and you can see these, but look how perfect they are. Juice, tea, coffee, creamer, water, desserts, main courses, side dishes for 2. So this is just one of the examples. Let's check out the next one. Okay guys, maybe you're not going on a long trip. Maybe you're just going for the day and you guys want to take out some brewskis and have a couple beers with the friends. Maybe some soda pops for the kids. The great thing about this is you can align all your beverages in here. Just put enough ice to go in between all the cans, which will keep them nice and nicely cold. And you still have room to pack some MREs that come with heating elements. Enough for 4 people if you're taking all 4 people or not, as you can see. Still shuts nicely. Straps go on just like so. And you're ready to go. Other options is maybe you want to carry an extra belt. Maybe your belt changing tool. You know, you can even put first aid kits. Different various little tools that you want to carry with you on the trip. If you're going by yourself single-handedly, that's kind of a cool option, is to be able to take the tools you'll need in case you have an emergency. And you can still put your tray in here and take yourself a couple little meals and snacks and something and still head out on the road with no problem. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Appreciate you guys checking out the new gear. I love the way this thing looks on here. It leaves me a lot of room to do other things. It is well worth the money. 370 bucks, guys. If you're paying more than that, you're probably paying too much. We got some more videos. I've mentioned in the past about the chase lights. I've also mentioned about the spare tire rack we're gonna do. And we'll continue to do other things as we go through in time. So I appreciate you guys tuning in to Review It TV. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time.